Ooga booga booga!
Hello, Internet. Now please hold on to your butt as two comedians attempt to talk about serious subjects in a not so serious manner. From the mysterious to the utterly vicious, everything is fair game. This is the Kill Them With Comedy podcast, featuring true crime, amazing events, conspiracies, unsolved mysteries, and an array of weird and wonderful topics, all for your enjoyment. You're welcome.
And that proves that even people that you would trust with your life can, at some point, go fucking crazy.
And if you did, they'd enjoy it because dolphins have sexual pleasure too.
Oh, that story of that woman working in the research centre jacking off dolphins because they wouldn't pay attention. It's my favourite thing in the world.
Okay, you need to start that story again before we get into the next part. What?
Right, I'm going to do this at some point because it's literally, there was a guy who used to take tons of acid and do CIA experiments. It was all part of the whole what's it called? Yeah, all part of that shit.
Oh, really?
Mixed in with that. Yeah. And they were trying to communicate with dolphins by giving them LSD and like having like communication sessions. So like, try and speak, and this woman would be like, "Say hello, say hello," and the dolphin would of course go, "Ah!" and he just goes, "No, say hello, say hello. Can you say hello?" And and then it's like again just bullshit. And then whenever the dolphin, and not only that, they had an entire house half submerged, right, so that humans could wade through it and dolphins could swim through it, so that they could both share the same environment, right, so that dolphins could live together. And whenever this dolphin wasn't paying attention, the woman would just jerk it off just to get it to stop f***ing about.
I was just listening to Bobby Lee the other day. You know Bobby Lee, the comedian?
Yeah.
Do you watch Bad Friends, him and Andrew Santino?
Yeah, Andrew Santino's a fucking hero, man.
Do you watch their podcast?
Yeah. Well, I haven't watched any of the recent ones, but yeah.
Yeah, fucking, I love it. Bobby Lee's one of my favourite comedians. I feel a kinship with him. Him and Norm Macdonald, I love them both so much.
Norm's fucking brilliant. I was watching My Name Is Earl recently. Yeah.
He's in that?
Yeah, he plays Chubby Junior, which is
makes sense. Just the name makes sense straight away.
Yeah. And not only that, but it makes even more sense because he's playing Burt Reynolds' son.
Okay. I've never thought about it ever before, but I can imagine it completely now. Was it? I'm slightly younger Norm Macdonald too, rather than old man Norm now, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Still had fantastic hair and shit, you know what I'm saying?
He's got fantastic hair now, it's just elderly.
Yeah, but
no, he doesn't have fantastic hair, okay.
It's greyed and it's gone a little bit like wheaty, if we're honest, you know what I'm saying?
And you can tell he
looks like straw.
Things.
Mm-hmm.
I love Norm Macdonald. It's just the epitome of someone that he's just himself on stage, you know, he's just him. Yeah. I've heard stories like from other comedians, like, you know, you watch them on podcasts and they're talking about like that they'll go to like the shop or something with him before a gig or something, and something minuscule, tiny will happen. Tiny. And he will go on stage and talk about it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Killing as well.
It's just some people see the world in a different way, and Norm Macdonald is definitely one of them.
Definitely. Yeah. I love Norm.
Yeah.
You know what, actually, sorry, bear with me 1 second. I really need a fucking piss. I'll be back in 1 second.
Go for it.
Thank you. I decided while I was out there, because I realised, you know, I can move around more now suddenly. Oh, fuck. My story won't make more sense, and I'm apparently spilling things on myself, but I can move around more now without hurting myself. So I decided to get myself a Lambrini because I saw it in the fridge.
And fancy. We know who'd enjoy that, wouldn't we?
Well, funnily enough, it is also in the glass that I got from
Lambrini with Leanne.
Lambrini with Leanne. I'm trying to get the thing in there, but I don't want to do it over the laptop because I will probably drop it.
Yeah, I edited that episode.
Finished.
Carl was in that episode. If you want to go watch that episode, definitely do check out Leanne Easthope, comedian, on Facebook, and that will give you access to all of her shit. It's all good.
Okay, then. Is it time for me to go on to mine now?
I guess so, yeah. Let's have a go at it.
So
I'm
this
interested
fellow...
to see how this goes.
What do you mean?
Because you told me it's like, it's chemical based in some way. But, like, I just... You know...
Well, it makes a lot more sense when I say the name. I'll say it right now. This is the story of the acid bath. Make a lot more sense if I could talk. The acid bath murders.
Right. So, fucking hell!
What?
That's a bit. That is a stern look right there. That is literally millimeters off of a Hitler right there on the mustache.
Exactly where my mind went. Yep.
And the hair isn't helping. Like,
and believe, in some of the photos, the mustache is a lot thicker. Much thicker. Too thick.
God.
And the worst part is this was going on during World War II.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, he seems like the kind who would be into that shit.
To be fair, it's got nothing to do with any of that kind of stuff at all. So they probably, to be fair, they probably wouldn't have even known what he looked like. Like, odds are, you know, most of the people back then. But yeah. So this is a story of that was John Haig, the dude I showed you. Then I will give you a bit of information about him. Feel free to jump in at any time. So he was born on the 24th of July 1909 in Yorkshire, raised in a nearby village called Outwood. Parents were engineers, and members of the Plymouth Brethren, which I had to do a little bit of research to figure out what they were.
The Plymouth Brethren.
Exactly. What does that sound like to you when you hear that? The Plymouth Brethren.
If I'm honest, it sounds like a really, really shitty street gang who think they're hardcore.
I really now want to know where the word brethren came from because it's actually a Christian church.
Oh, fuck. All right, yeah.
The way they
sort
actually...
of makes sense.
It's a fellowship, and I don't quite know what it means. I think it's like a sect of it. What they actually refer to themselves as how they describe themselves.
No. It just means they transport rings all over the country. It's fine.
I'm sure that's what it is. Well, to be fair, we have learned that Christian and Catholic popes, for sure, do like rings.
Yes.
But they said that a Christian fellowship based on the Holy Bible as the Word of God. That was what they followed. From what I'm gathering, they followed the Bible. Like they were full on, traditional, followed it as a word of God. But John...
because that always works out well, doesn't it? It always works out well having strict parents with like very strict religious doctrines. That always makes such well-balanced children.
Yeah. There's never any problems from that, ever.
Never.
But let's just assume there might be. Maybe there's a chance. And we'll have a look at what happened to John.
We'll give it a shot.
we'll assume. So John's family in general, though, was pretty well off. I've had he was a keen piano player from a young age and attended regular concerts. And this is in the he was born in 1909, so this probably would have been like in the 10s, probably maybe the early 20s at the very latest. Sorry,
so they're going right through the Depression, like not a good time.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was right in the middle of the Depression, like between.
Wait, is that America? Just after... when you say the Depression, I always think America.
Yeah, America. Yeah,
but this is England.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I suppose I'm not sure whether it affected England in the same way, but I think it was a global crash. But I don't know.
Probably some way.
Maybe England was fine.
I mean, either way, there was a World War I going on at some point during this, so it couldn't have been great. We wasn't all happy living. But
sorry, can those clicks be caught up? I'll do that elsewhere because I know people don't like clicky fingers.
What?
I was clicking my fingers and I didn't want it picked up on the mic because I know people get weird about that shit.
That clicky kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what that actually is?
Yeah, it's air trapped between the joints. It's weird.
Yeah. People always assume that it's like you're clicking your bones. No.
No, that would be very bad if you were clicking your bones.
Very bad.
You would
Very
fucking
bad.
feel that.
You would feel like I do now, even after all of this. I can still feel it, but I just don't care anymore. So it's fine.
Yeah, I know what it's like to not have anything between your bones, because that's what's basically going on in my knee. Not fun.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, well, I tore the meniscus, which is the bit between it, and it just sort of went. But apparently, it's sort of okay. But I can still feel something clicking occasionally.
So you can feel like because the arthritis is like the cartilage in between completely wear away and the bone is grinding. So I'm guessing you heard the bit in between then. Is that what that is?
Yeah, the meniscus is all the shit that's sort of between all the knee and the two femur and the whatever it is. Yeah.
It's just you can't help it. If you have a creative brain, all these ideas, they weigh a lot. And eventually they're going to weigh down on your knees. I have a problem too with my knee. I understand. It happens to us people. We can't help it. We
hold the weight of the comedy world on our shoulders. Our beautiful, beautiful shoulders.
But anyway, John Haig. Yeah, John Haig. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Where did I get to? He was a choir boy in a cathedral, but it was his school. I don't quite understand that. I'm guessing cathedral was doubled as I'm guessing a Catholic school. It was just
it's probably some form of convent school built into the thing, which is exactly what you want. You definitely want to be near a lot of priests from the Catholic Church with only nuns to tell them what to do, because priests love listening to nuns.
Totally. We've learned this.
Fucking Jesus Christ. This guy's entire life is just a list of don't raise your kids this way.
See, there's nothing particularly bad in this scenario, but I wanted to mention this because to me, anyone going through that, you can see how it would eventually, when they're an adult, make them do strange things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not an excuse.
Like the dude who shot all of those fucking, was it Asian women in America recently? There was a shooting, and the reason why he did it very recently.
I know there was something very recent, but I don't know anything about it. So
I think it might have been in Boulder, Colorado, or something like that. But the reason why the guy was shooting these women is because he was a very, very, very strict Christian who had been going to Asian hookers, because he had a thing for Asian hookers, and of course,
which is fair enough. That's the only part so far. That's fair enough.
Yeah, totally fine with that. But the problem was, because he was sort of such a devout Christian, he was like, "Oh no, it's temptation. It's evil. It's an evil temptation. I've got to remove the temptation. I've got to remove the temptation from the world. I'll shoot them all." And these women were people he had actually frequented before on many occasions as well. This dude fucking killed people because he couldn't control his dick because of God.
You know what? People, like I've said this so many times, people bitch at me sometimes for why I don't respect religious people.
And that's why.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with but you can't do it because of my religion says you can't. Yeah. I don't give a shit what your religion says.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you don't respect the people as people, and then the religious beliefs are after. I love people. I like all people.
Believe whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. Well, within reason.
Within reason.
You can. You can do what you want, but if you start talking to me about it, I'm going to tell you why that's wrong. But you can do what you want. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good. As long as you're happy.
Provided you don't shit on anyone else's chips, go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, man, there's so
it's when
much
it gets that
bullshit that happens through religion. And there's lovely parts of it. There's beautiful parts of it. Like the moral side of it. Like Islam have a whole thing where they talk about like so many of their beliefs I fucking hate. But then they have like the charitable side of it where like everyone in Islam believes that you should give a certain amount of your money to charity. That's lovely.
Yeah, great. The way that they celebrate as well with the fasting and stuff, and it sort of brings everyone together during the night to have a big meal, and that sounds interesting to me
I
as
did
well.
that
That's
once.
like, yeah, it's like a personal form of dedication and willpower. That's really healthy, believe it or not. That's a great thing to do.
I don't think fasting for a month is actually healthy.
No,
whole
because
day.
they do eat near the end of the day and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
they break
regardless,
the rosary.
yeah, but that's
I
the thing.
did a
It is
full thing with
actually,
it with some Asian friends that I had, and I did a full
yeah,
thing with it. It was really nice, to be honest with you.
yeah.
But I
It's
still
sweet, isn't it? Yeah.
cheated and drank some drinks in the day. Didn't tell them until now, apparently.
You cheating, skiving bugger.
It's almost like I don't believe in God.
Weird.
I know. I don't believe in a man in the sky in a dress.
Yeah. The dress
Or
part
it
was
could
always the
be
weird bit.
Yeah, it could be a giant alien, to be fair, though. If anything, I've been listening to. Have you ever heard of have you seen Graham Hancock and like Randall Carlson on the Joe Rogan podcast?
Oh no, I haven't seen it recently. No.
Have you? Do you know them at all? Though I mean,
Yeah. No,
Oh, yeah,
I thought there was a new episode. No, yeah, I've seen
No.
the old one.
Yeah, I've been re-listening to them again for some reason over the last couple of nights. But just all that kind of stuff, like it's just so interesting when you look at like the idea of what people believe, and then in regards to the evidence of what doesn't. It's so
And
fucking
where it all
interesting.
came from as well, and it's like, oh, this is this. Oh, well, it's that on the outside surface. If you scratch a little bit deeper, you suddenly find that this whole thing is just a metaphor for this thing that happened in a previous religion, and like this has been nicked wholeheartedly from ancient
Yeah.
Mesopotamia, and this has been taken from some ancient Somali traditions, and this has been taken from like, fucking hell,
But then
man.
it's even like the main thing I was into was like the timeline. The way I was seeing it in my mind anyway was like a timeline of the world, like like the first ever people appeared here, and then whatever over here, and it was like they were saying about how like it was something to do with like the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. No, basically just something to do with the whole what's it called? Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know the
That
place.
whole. It's just so interesting when you hear about it, and that's one thing. I've got a really good friend. He lives in America now, but he was here for like 10 years when I knew him anyway, and then moved over. He's like a full-on like fucking like what's it called? Theoretical physics.
Physicist.
Yeah. He was doing all that in college and uni, and now he's in America. That's why he went to America, partly to get a job over there, and he met someone, and they got married.
God
and all
damn it!
that,
I
so...
wish I could move to America, man.
No, you don't.
I do.
I used to until this year.
Yeah, I've been a secret American for years, though, man.
Same.
I've always wanted to just live in LA, if I'm honest, for some reason. That was always the thing for me, but that place doesn't look like it's doing great at the moment. Yeah, but I don't know why LA, but it just that feels like the thing for me. That feels like the place I want to go. Oh, fucking hell. Bravo.
Don't say that. I haven't got through most of my story yet. No, I think when it comes to America, though, I've always loved New York because I love the hustle and bustle. But I think I always did. But then I think just getting older, like the past 4 years, I really appreciate quiet. So I don't think I'd ever want to go to New York anymore. I'd want to live in a rural place near to somewhere like New York, so I could go there when I want to. But as soon as they're being too loud, I can fuck off completely.
Yeah. That's why I kind of like the idea of California, because it's like there's a big city, but like as soon as you're outside the city, it's just miles and miles and miles of just national parks and like hills and mountains and like the most amazing fucking roads as well. That's the other thing. That's another reason why I'd much prefer California over New York, because as much as I love New York, the subway is kind of terrifying.
What's that thing?
I used to have a bit about it, and there was literally, while I was on the subway at one point, there was just this weird, creepy dude just staring at me and my brother the entire time. I didn't know what he was going to do. Luckily, my brother knew how to deal with it. I didn't.
Are you the younger brother?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine the weirdest, craziest person in New York would be that different than the weirdest, craziest, crackhead-looking person in Birmingham. I don't know.
No, they
Maybe.
are. That was another part of my joke. Like, the weirdest person I had ever seen before I went to New York was a naked German man doing yoga in the middle of a footpath.
I mean, that is pretty weird.
Yeah, pretty fucking weird, right? That was nothing in New York. That was fucking nothing, dude.
Yeah, it makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense, you know.
That, like, in New York, that was basically just, that's Tuesday, innit? Just, Mark's
like,
naked.
Wake
in the
up.
fucking
Oh, he's
bathroom.
over there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a bit bigger. He's let it grow a bit more. Oh, okay.
New York was amazing as well, especially for Central Park. That place is fucking incredible. Anyway, yeah, you were saying.
Was that? Oh, yeah, story.
Yeah.
Killed him with comedy. True crime. Where did I get? Okay. So apparently, so he was. He did all that stuff as a younger boy, like just religious.
That's right. We were talking about the weird guy and his Catholic weirdness.
Yeah, apparently he had like a lot of religious nightmares at the time, but it's easier to look at that later, and I don't know how I feel. It will leave that till later.
Yeah.
Okay. So after leaving school, he became an apprentice at an engineering firm. This is John Haig, probably through his parents, but left a year after because his parents were engineers, so I assume probably through them.
Yeah.
Okay. So 6th of July, 1934. John Haig married a woman and they broke up a year later as he had been jailed for fraud. She was pregnant and she put the baby up for adoption.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't have liked that.
So this is basically like just a list of not why he became violent, not that kind of thing, but just why you could see there was something going on.
Yeah.
Well, violent, yes, but obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. After these events, it is said his family disowned him as a son because his family was quite well off. So he had to find ways of making money, obviously, like you do.
Yeah.
After leaving jail, he moved to London in 1936 and worked as a show. Wait, I did mention he'd been put in jail, didn't I? For fraud.
I think so. Yes.
Yes. I think I briefly mentioned it at the beginning.
Was that the bit at the start? I think it was in the bit at the start, but I can't remember it.
Wait. No.
Regardless.
No, not regardless. It's my notes. I've just checked.
And
apparently he was free, and then all of a sudden he was coming out of jail. Funnily enough, that doesn't make sense. So he got arrested for fraud because he was trying to make more money. That's why his family disowned him. After leaving jail, he moved to London instead of Yorkshire in 1936 and worked as a chauffeur for one William McSwan. Which will make a lot more sense later on. William McSwan was a very wealthy business owner with a chain of amusement arcades. Apparently, they made some big thing about that it was electric-free pinball machines. I don't know why they made that point, and I didn't care. I didn't even write it down, but I'm saying it now. So
yeah. It's probably just someone's got a massive hard-on for that kind of pinball machine. Pinball freaks are weird, man.
Yeah, it did look like a pretty cool machine, to be honest. They actually showed the picture of the machine in the thing I watched originally. It did look pretty cool.
There you go.
So Mr. McSwan was a very wealthy business owner, just in general, then with amusement arcades. He had a chain of them. John Haig, though, would eventually be arrested again for fraud a second time. Was released sometime after the Second World War began.
Right.
So basically, he was working with McSwan, and they don't really mention how they were connected, but I assume it was quite nice considering what happened later. However, shortly after, he would go back into jail again for he was released after the Second World War began.
Yeah.
However, shortly after, he would go back into jail for similar fraud-related crimes. It was during the incarceration that he apparently decided that maybe his fraudulent schemes would work a lot better, and he wouldn't be caught again if the people he was stealing from were no longer alive.
Yeah, okay, that's an easy step to take, isn't it? Yeah.
The logic is there. I don't know. It's there.
You see, this is the problem. Like, oh God, just. Oh shit, me!
Sorry, you know what? I was trying to hold it back, but I really need a piss. Finish your thought.
Again, my word. All right, no, go.
Yeah. I broke the seal now. You know how it is. I've drank too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't just standing there for a second just listening to you then. You're finally quite entertaining.
Okay. What are we doing?
So,
yes.
No longer
Psycho-Catholic dude.
Yeah. So this is 1943 now then. So he's left prison after this point. So he released in 1943 and started working as an accountant for an engineering firm. I don't understand how he got so many jobs after leaving prison. Well,
I think I do, to be honest. If this guy is into fraud, he's probably going to be a pretty fucking good accountant.
That makes sense, actually, yeah. Short time later after that, though, he ran into an old employer, that person we mentioned earlier, Mr. William McSwan.
Ah, old Swanee boy. Old Swanstable. Old Mr. Swannington.
He looks like the epitome of the person that would sound like that when you look at his picture. Yeah. The twirly mustache and everything, you know.
Excellent.
So I'm all here for, in all honesty.
Yeah.
And apparently they were quite friendly when they ran into each other. He introduced John to his parents and explained that he collects rent from the various properties to make them even more money from the parents' properties. Upon learning this, John decided he had his next fraud victim, but his first murder victim. Yeah, that was suspenseful.
This is going to be... when I get the feeling this is going to be horrible.
It's not... Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 6th of September, 1944, William vanished. Straight up vanished. His parents were under the impression he had moved to Scotland to get out of being enlisted into the army. However, obviously not the case. In reality, John Haig had lured William McSwan, his old boss, into a basement, whacked him over the head, and put him into a big old drum of sulfuric acid.
Jesus Christ.
Not going to lie, have no idea where he got the acid from.
Yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it? You don't get that just down the shops.
Yeah. I would assume in some way he got money and paid for it, or maybe it was maybe it was something used in engineering and his family were engineers. And
yeah, I suppose if there was any sort of industrial like construction thing, they could have been using it for something like that. I don't know.
Because he said the majority of his family like kind of struck him off, but like some of them still, you know, tried. I don't know. Yeah. There's not a lot of bits like the 40s in it.
Yeah, it's just fucking hell.
This is the crazy thing, you know, when I was first seeing this and I realised it was all going on during the Second World War, it's such a weird thing to think that like all that stuff is going on in the war, and we talk about those kind of things all the time, but then thinking they still had to kind of patrol their own country. It was a kind of thing that I just never thought about, the concept of that. So weird. And
like a lot of crime happened during the Blitz as well. People always forget about that. Like people would just walk into bombed houses and steal shit. People would put on a helmet that they'd nicked off of a military policeman, which just says MP on it, and they just start going, "You over there, get all the things you can out of this house and put them in the back of this truck. We're relocating them down to another area in London." And they take all the shit out of the house, put it in the back, drive off, and the person comes back and goes, "What the fuck did you do with all my shit?"
Kind of respect that, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's a hell of a play.
Yeah. By the time John Haig though returned to check on the, so he threw him in the barrel.
Yeah.
We don't actually know though. Worst part, what killed him? Whether being whacked on the head, which one whack on the head? Normally,
yeah, no. If you wake
acid,
up in the middle of fucking
2
being
days,
burnt alive.
well, he would have been drowned. He was like, stuffed in.
Oh yeah, but still. Yeah.
Either way, yeah. So we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time John returned 2 days later to check on the progress, McSwan was said to be nothing more than a pile of sludge, which he promptly dumped straight down a manhole.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He then started collecting rent from McSwan's parents on William's behalf. Funny enough, they never got that money.
What a fucking surprise.
Well, no, I think what he actually did was keep like William's part, I assume anyway.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow, that is fucking horrible. That is so fucking.
When I first saw this story, I saw it popped up like literally last night after the quiz when we was on the quiz yesterday. I saw this and I was like, I can't remember that, and I watched it. And that point there was where I thought the story ended, from what I remembered. No. So after this, eventually, McSwan's parents started to become suspicious of John and started to ask questions.
Did they? Or where the fuck is our son, mate?
Yeah.
It's a pretty logical question.
Very logical.
Yeah.
I guess he was the middleman that told him, he went to Scotland.
Yeah.
He would need to be.
Nah, it doesn't make sense. If you're rich enough, you can buy your way out of that shit.
Well, it didn't matter because they, after this, were very happy to learn that their son, McSwan, had, in actuality, returned and wanted to see them. So, on William's request, John Haig led William's parents to another basement to meet their son.
Oh, fuck me.
Just
Jesus Christ. Can people stop following this man into basements?
Well, to be fair, they were going to meet their son. Just not how they thought. It was always going to happen.
Fucking hell. Oh, God.
So, as I'm sure you've assuming right now, he brought them down there and they did a seance session. They had the thing on the Ouija board, obviously. No. As soon as
they got into contact with him, it was all lovely and sweet. He said, "Don't worry about me, parents. I'm up in heaven now. All is okay. Go enjoy yourselves with the money."
And then
and don't worry about my mate. Just keep on giving him the rent.
Just because he looks like Hitler doesn't mean anything. So as soon as I walked into the basement, he did the exact same thing he did with their son and hit them both over the head and stuffed their bodies into barrels of sulfuric acid.
I have a question here, and I don't think we'll have an answer, but it's an interesting thought. Did he hit them individually over the head, or did he get them in both one big swap, like bam bam?
You know what?
Or did he have to get them one at a time? Did he have to go, excuse me, would you like to... Bam! What was that? Oh, come down and have a look. Bam!
Genuinely, earlier, I was trying to find out the same thing. No lie. I was wondering.
It's such an interesting question.
Yeah. But
shit. Oh God.
So in regards to that, then he would continue. Oh yeah. So he would continue to collect rent from the parents' properties as well as William's pension as well. That guy was old enough to have a pension. Apparently, he didn't look it in the picture at all. He looked like not even 40. But people.
Well, he could have had a military pension potentially if he was sort of fairly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I think probably getting to 19 was quite good back then. considering a lot of shit.
And World War One had just happened, and a
World War
lot of
II was
people
happening
died there.
right in that moment
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well.
Yeah. It was a pretty rough time at the start of the century, wasn't it?
Funny enough.
Yeah.
To be fair, we haven't had a great start to this century either.
No,
It's about the same
I
time,
get.
really.
Yeah, I think we're going to get roughly the same sort of time. I'm looking forward to the war, if I'm honest, because I will have aged out by the time it happens.
You know,
So
I've been saying this to some of my close friends. I would be shocked if we don't end up going to war with China over it all.
at some point,
genuinely.
absolutely. Yeah,
I don't know how you couldn't.
I mean, the thing about China that everyone keeps forgetting as well is, oh, China, they're so they were the underdog for so long. Now they're this economic powers. We should be embracing them. You do realize? Hang on. Oh, I fucking missed it. Sorry.
If you can think of it, there is a fetish for it.
But yeah, China's been buying up massive amounts of other people's countries, building bases and shit on it, building infrastructure so that they can just roll through those fucking cities whenever they want to. Like, guys, these people they're aiming for something, and you don't necessarily want it to happen.
Yeah, and there's all and then on the other side of that, there's the industrial side of it too, because exports I think that's the main reason why a lot more hasn't happened already, is because as soon as you cut off the exports from China, that's a huge thing.
Yeah,
that's huge. That makes such a big difference that people don't even realize, to things that you never would have thought it would make a difference to. Yeah, it makes a big fucking difference.
For everything, China does so much of our work for us.
There's a reason that every fucking thing we own says made in China on the bottom.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, from fucking the graphics cards that go into PlayStations and Xboxes and PCs, to the fucking the hamster cages you buy, to the fucking food you buy for the fucking, for the dog you've got, that's it's all got meat from a suspicious place, but it's fine.
Right, to be fair. Yeah, it's true. It is very fucking true. Yeah,
it's all from these places. It's all from China. And the fucking weird thing is as well, China's weird political stuff is starting to make its way into other countries, because you can't work with China. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, I think what you were saying was what I was saying. Yeah, you
literally can't work in China. You can't trade in China unless you are working with a Chinese company. And if you end up working with that Chinese company, if you're making a movie that's going to be shown in China, for example, they're going to go, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. Like in China, you can't show blood.
Okay? And let's just remember as well that literally by law, every Chinese government is run through. Every Chinese business is run through the government.
Yep, has to be.
Yeah,
and you can't show skulls in Chinese media. You can't show dissent against the government in Chinese media. You can't show positive depictions of gay people in Chinese media. Loads. Yeah, well, I think they might have come further forward on that. There was another country very recently that was like, no, you can't do that at all.
Can't do.
Yeah, can't
penis on penis touching.
They just can't. You can't even reference someone being gay unless they are a villain in it.
Oh, what was that?
If you're gay in a movie in the Far East, you better be a fucking cunt.
Oh, a dick is a better way to say it.
Yeah, or a dick, yeah.
Before we came on, I was watching once again The Office US. I'm almost at the end of it now. I'm near the end of season 5, and he brought in the Mexican guy, Oscar. Somebody know. Oscar, we'll go over. I think it's Oscar. He's like the only gay guy in the office, and he brought him in. He was like, I've got something. I'm going through a procedure later, I'm feeling kind of nervous about it, in all honesty. And Oscar was like, "Oh, okay. I didn't think you'd bring me in for that. What's going on? How can I help you?" He was talking to him, saying like he was trying to make him feel better. And he was like, "Yeah, well, I'm going for a colonoscopy, and I just wanted to know what it felt like when things go up there." And he just stared at it. Christ. As soon as I realised what he was clocking onto, it was fucking amazing.
Hell.
I love that program, but no one
Yeah.
this year should ever watch it again because it will just get cancelled.
Yeah. So many great shows would be. I was watching My Name Is Earl. That, as I say, like there's multiple bits in that where if you even wrote that onto a page, you'd be fired. Like,
Like I literally said the word. Okay, once again, I said the word retard on a podcast with Callum, and I didn't know if it was okay. But I was like, I'm putting this in the context. I talked about The Office again because he said about political correctness and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, wow. I was watching an episode of The Office the other day where they say, someone calls someone a retard and back and forth, and then they're talking about black people. It's all a thing. Basically, the whole episode is about political correctness and the things you can say and can't say. But just saying the words made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's like the episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where they get electrocuted whilst watching The Wiz, and all end up quantum leaping into black people's bodies.
What?
They wake up and they look normal until they look in a mirror, and then they see themselves as black people.
Yeah, so this needs to be the next sitcom I watch.
Yeah, definitely. Always Sunny is fucking amazing.
I've heard this a lot, and I've never got into. Same with The Office US, I'd never got into it. I love sitcoms though.
Yeah, It's Always Sunny is some of the top tier shit, like truly top tier shit. Like honestly, the first season is a bit shaky. The second season kind of gets better. By the time you're at the fourth season, that shit is running on full cylinder, all cylinders, and it doesn't stop at all. The most recent series was brilliant as well.
I did watch a bit of it, but I completely just skipped the first series because I know Danny DeVito didn't appear till the second, and that's when I heard he got better.
Yeah. As soon as Danny DeVito is there, that's when you start watching. And then, as I say, once it gets to episode 4, everyone's sort of managed to get themselves into their roles. Like Danny DeVito is so Danny DeVito at that point. It's fucking beautiful.
I think that's literally. I think I literally went like 2 episodes in and then stopped watching it for whatever reason at the time, because sitcoms are great, but they're not the thing you watch when you really want to watch something, to get into it all. And that sitcoms are just more like the kind of like the pop rocky stuff of the TV world.
Yeah,
you watch them because they're fun. You don't really think too much into it. It's just fun. You just go along.
Yeah, though actually, to be fair, like It's Always Sunny, although it's like the best thing about It's Always Sunny is it's literally the worst people in the world.
Yeah, that's what.
Like they are the shittiest fucking people in the fucking world, and I think this is actually a direct quote from one of the people who wrote it. Is they are the worst people in the world, and the humor comes from them interacting with normal people who aren't terrible.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
I just love that as a sort of a remit for what your show's going to be, if you know what I mean. And then along the way, like certain characters reveal things about themselves that make you go like, oh, actually, I kind of get this character. I feel this character. Like the really good sitcoms manage to do. You know what I mean? Like not all of them do it.
Yeah.
But the ones that manage it are fucking amazing. Like the original Office, when everyone was like, when it came to an end and he's just like, please don't make me redundant. Please don't make me redundant. Please.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
gonna mate, you have to. Like that.
I'm a British person, but I've always preferred American sitcoms. Always.
For real, yeah. Yeah, and I never really liked The Office. The only reason I watched it is because a while back I sort of watched all of the other Ricky Gervais stuff, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I love
the
Ricky
one
Gervais.
thing left. Yeah,
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 I love
yeah.
Ricky Gervais.
Extras is fucking incredible. Extras is one of the greatest shows ever written.
I don't think I've watched most of his things. I watched Afterlife, but that was obviously quite a late one, you know.
Yeah.
I just love him in stand up. I love listening to him bitch about religion.
If you're gonna
I'm
watch,
all there for that.
yeah, if you're gonna watch any of his shows, the one I would definitely suggest is Extras, because it is just fucking gold. Every single episode is fucking gold.
Why is that again?
And like they always have. Oh, it's basically the one where he's literally playing extras, and he's got his friend, and they both end up on sets with various,
okay.
with various actors. Like one of them, he's talking to Ross Kemp.
Okay.
And every time he's talking to Ross Kemp comes up and he goes like, "Yeah, just so you know, like I was working with the SAS."
So this is Ross Kemp in the true time.
Yeah, it's actual Ross Kemp. Yeah,
he was just a soap star for a while. So
yeah. And he's like, yeah, and I was working with the SAS. You know what the SAS are called, don't you? Yeah. He goes, sorry, you know what SAS means, don't you? He goes, isn't it like Special Air Service or something like that? And he goes, Super Army Soldiers. And it's just this guy who thinks he's so tough, and he's just a fucking loser.
Is that the thing with extras then? Like the idea is because they're extras and things, you get a lot of cameos from like random people.
Yeah, literally every episode's got a new cameo. One of them's got Samuel L. Jackson as the cameo. One of them's got Kate Winslet, and Kate Winslet is just this absolute fucking legend in it, playing some people. Yeah, she's got like these dirty jokes, and she seems like a fucking hero. Yeah, you've got to watch that.
Yeah, is that on Netflix as well? Do you know?
I think it might be. It was on Netflix when I watched it, at least. So yeah, definitely.
A good chance then in that case. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to finish up The Office. Got a few more seasons to go, and then I'm going to watch the English one. I'm also watching the regulars at the same time. That Sherlock Holmes thing from last night.
Yeah. But that's a whole different flavour. Yeah,
and it's very short in comparison as well. Yeah. I only started watching it last night because I just had more free time after getting all this stuff done. I found a good, interesting true crime story that I forgot I was telling, and I'm going to go back to right now, Nathan.
Let's do that, yeah.
You got to keep telling me I've drank too much to get over this. So,
so he's killed the parents, and
and he would.
Yep.
He would continue to collect rent from the parents' properties and William's pension. I would say that actually, sorry. But it would total £8,000 at the time, which in today's money is about 116 grand. So enough to kill someone for.
Yeah,
that'll do it. I've read many.
Not that I've done it, but you know.
But yeah, I wouldn't say I wouldn't.
Right person, right amount of money. It's just a it's a simple supply and demand.
Need the right application, the right job offer.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But you've seen that from like things you'd get a lot more like you've seen it from stories anyway, a lot less than that cause murders nowadays. So you can see it. So he would eventually lose all this money over the next couple of years, though, mainly due to trying to live above his means and developing a bit of a love of the old gamble. Yeah. He eventually ran into a couple, though, after this. So this was quite a few years after. He started gambling a lot more. Lived in some fancy hotel, apparently. Eventually then ran into a couple called Mr. and Mrs. Henderson.
Right.
So this is not the end of it.
Yeah, obviously the Hendersons aren't going to have it. I wonder if he's going to lure them into a fucking basement again.
Well, actually, no.
Oh,
no, not at all.
Changed his entire MO.
Yeah, it goes in a completely different way now, in all honesty. After getting to know them, after getting to know them, and especially learning the fact that they were in the process of selling some property, he did decide they were his next targets.
Yeah.
But still different. Bear with me. He moved several barrels to a rented workshop. And
Oh,
not a basement. Once everything was in place, he lured Mr. Henderson there by telling them he wanted to show him his new invention. That's how
of
he got
course he did.
And he
What's the new invention? It's called barrel juice. Bang.
But he did. Apparently, he spent some of the money that he got before on something because rather than hitting him over the head, he shot him with a gun. Bang, bang.
Oh, you see now, that's just laziness. That
Exactly. It is. It's just laziness.
Just pure laziness. Can't even be bothered to kill a person with his own fucking hands.
If you're going to give us a true crime story to talk about in the future, 100 years after you did it, at least give us one with a bit of creative flair.
Yeah, a bit of pizzazz.
Yeah. Just get a gun and go, that's easy.
And shoot a fucker. God.
Come on, guys. Jesus.
I still like the luring, though. I don't understand how this guy... Yeah. How does anyone trust this motherfucker? Like,
I don't know. Been in prison like I think 3 or 4 times at this point.
Fraud multiple times. He's known people who've just disappeared. He's like clearly just unhinged. Can't be trusted with money. Like, what is wrong with people?
He's lucky that the country is in the middle of a war right now with the
otherwise people would just be like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
Yeah.
Just dragging a barrel down the street. No worries, mister.
And I still really want to know where he got the acid from. I really want to know that.
Yeah. So much of it.
Yeah.
Barrels and barrels of it.
I really should have checked that beforehand to figure out where you can get sulfuric acid from. Because what would you use sulfuric acid? You'd melt stuff down. So what if...
Well, it can be used in various chemical reactions as well. It can be used for cleaning out certain kinds of equipment and stuff like that. And
maybe with the engineering side in that case. Then,
yeah, that's the only thing I can think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
But then again, he was in London in a workshop at this point, so I don't know. Maybe by this point, though, he just got
maybe the
MO, and he was
and also if he's got access to a workshop, he could potentially get like just store it on there.
Yeah. By this point, he just had his MO and he wanted to go with it.
Yeah.
I
like melting people in barrels.
Nothing could go wrong with that.
No.
He then, after he sorted out Mr. Henderson, he then also told Mrs. Henderson that her husband had fell ill when he'd come over to the workshop, and he asked her to come over to have a look. But as you guessed it, as soon as she got there, bang, bang, shoot it, dead, get in the barrel.
Get in the barrel with you.
Get in the fucking barrel. After barrel melting their bodies and disposing of the leftovers, John forged a letter and sold all of their belongings except for their car and the family dog, both of which he kept for himself. That is a new level of sicko.
Oh, what a bastard! He fucking killed them and stole their fucking dog.
I was thinking, would it be better or worse if he killed the dog? Because
I mean, it's definitely not better. Like, it's good that the dog's alive, but it is essentially like, it's like, well, it's like someone killing your parents and then adopting you. It's fucked, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it means nothing. Even Hitler liked dogs. And he killed his dog.
Yeah. Actually, that's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That was also a quiz question on the quiz off. Blondie, that was it. That was his dog.
That's it. I remember.
Did you know he tested his first cyanide capsule on Blondie and killed it that way?
Yeah. He did Blondie. Then he killed Ava Braun, and then he killed himself.
I don't think he killed Ava Braun. I think she killed herself.
He got her. Yeah, she killed herself before he did, I believe.
Oh, you know what though? I don't know if I believe that the skeletons they got was Hitler.
Now that's a conspiracy I would genuinely be interested in us
with
looking
real
at
evidence.
Because that motherfucker, that ain't a simple That is not an easy open shut case.
And especially when people say like, "Oh, well, they know what he looked like." It's like you do know that the U.S. Army literally falsely identified Hitler about 7 times before the right one.
Yeah,
almost like people in Germany looked at their leader, their fearless leader, and thought, "I like his style. I might take it, yeah."
Yeah, I will copy this. I just cut these bits down here and start melting people in barrels.
A little warm.
Yeah.
When I'm going.
Oh fuck!
I almost did it.
The Lecter. Jesus.
Yeah. So then, Doggo and car stolen. Last bit now then. So by this point, a pattern of John Haig was starting to emerge.
Yeah.
A pattern in which every wealthy person around him seemed to disappear, but only after signing over all of their money and belongings to him.
Suspicious, that, isn't it?
Weirdly. Unfortunately for John, by this point, it was a pattern that had now been noticed by the police.
Yeah.
So they decided, they don't give a lot of detail about this, but it's the 40s, so I wouldn't expect a lot of detail, to be honest. They went and checked a couple of his, what turned out to be kill sites, it seems. So the original basement and then the workshop, one of them two anyway. And they discovered there, in the manholes, or wherever he got rid of them, 3 gallstones and a piece from someone's dentures.
Oh, fuck.
You'd think he'd check.
No, but that's the thing. He wouldn't be able to. Like, oh god, that's gross. Gallstones are tiny little things. Tiny little things. Like, yeah, you wouldn't even see that.
But if the 1940s police can figure it out, I'd have thought anyone should be able to really. You could see it anyway. They'd have to be at least be able to see it with their naked eye.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing though. But if you're emptying a big barrel full of shite, and it's just got these 2 tiny or 3 tiny little balls.
No, he dumped it down the manhole by then. Because apparently that got rid of it all. Well, he thought that, but it wasn't true.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, God knows. What am I going to do? So this was enough to tie him to the missing persons case for the people. He was arrested and promptly put on trial because shit moved a lot faster back in those days. Where now you have to wait 12. Well, the guy who killed that George Floyd is on trial now. He's like the 3rd or 4th day right now. And that was right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, it takes a long time for people to get their story straight now because everyone knows it's lies. Yeah.
Good job in that situation. He said there was a fucking camera released.
Yeah. Fuck me. It
doesn't mean that
was a horrible thing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that the whole police force is racist. It means that fucking guy and that team around him was shit, but they might have just been baited bitches. I don't know. But at the very, very least, that guy was a racist prick. Or he might not have been a racist prick. He might have hated everyone equally, but he was a murderous prick either way.
He was definitely a murderous prick. And, you know, there's shitty stuff going on with our police now as well. And everyone's taking it as an excuse to fucking hate on the police. But, like, at the end of the day, they're...
Oh, are you on about, like, at the moment they're talking about...
It was the protests and things like that. And don't get me wrong,
if you wanted to racism. So carry on. What
the systemic they had protests, and then they had the systemic racism, and then they found the Sarah Everard stuff out. But
I don't know.
You've got to remember, like, the vast majority of police are just decent people who are trying to protect other people. Like, that is all that matters.
That's why it legit bothers me. It generally bothers me, man. Like when people, it's like if they didn't.
Oh yeah, fuck the police, fuck these guys. They don't give a shit about us. It's us versus them. No, mate, it's not fucking prison.
Yeah,
you know, this is a society, and we need laws and law keepers to make sure shit don't go wrong. Now, if you have a problem with the fact that they arrest people for smoking weed, which I do, vote differently. fucking
Yeah.
vote
Yeah.
differently. Because
I
the
have
only
fun with
people
that. Yeah,
actually
of course,
making the laws are the fucking MPs. It's got nothing to do with the
exactly.
police.
There's
Sorry.
a lot. No, there's a lot of things like that. Like, yeah, like there's so many laws that you don't agree with, but the police are just the ones that have to enforce it. It's what
Yeah.
it's their job.
They don't get
Like,
to pick and choose. They go, well, that's the law. I have to enforce the law. That
Yeah.
is my job as a police officer.
the ones that do pick and choose, then yeah, may have a choice. Sorry, you may have a reason to bitch at them, but
Yeah.
most of the time it's just, and most of the time I've had so many, because I spent like most of my I spent like 10 years chilling around the streets in chavvy areas, just fucking getting drunk in places, doing whatever, running into police by accident. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
please don't arrest me, I'm young. And then most of them are found. They understand, they get it. You're not being a
they've
dick
been
and
there.
hurting people.
Yeah.
They don't care that much normally.
Yeah, again, that's the thing. Like, everyone thinks that police fall out of the womb as police. No, they were stupid kids too.
Yeah.
They've done all this dumb stuff. They know what it's like, and if you give them a little bit of respect, they tend to give it back. It's the people who go up to the police and immediately like, "Oh fuck you, mate! You don't know what you're fucking talking about. I'll fucking knock you out, mate." Like, you are the fucking problem. If you went up to the officer and just went, "Oh hi, officer, how's it going?" He's like, "Okay, you might just move along, lad. You absolutely, officer. See you later." Fucking sorted.
Yeah, I have met so many sound policemen that could have fucked me over, and a whole story that I'm not gonna in any way get into on a podcast. There is a whole story where I could have got fucked over and I didn't, because a lot of police are kind of sound.
Yeah, and they're decent people, or they're trying at least.
Yeah, and I think a lot of time people assume it's to do with colour and that. I think, if anything, I think maybe there is some bias. I do, but I think if anything, it's cultural, more in regards to the kind of person you are. Like,
it's also
savvy, rockery, that kind of stuff, more so than anything.
It does also come down to the fact that especially in deprived areas, you tend to have more Black and Asian, those kinds of people living in the poorer areas of cities, and that's
you say that and it sounds bad, but then you think about it, it's like just statistics.
That's statistics.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, in deprived areas, you get more crime, and in deprived areas, you end up with more gangs because there's less jobs, and that's where police have to be more often.
And less to do in general, so gangs and it's like a family kind of scenario. That is real.
That's where police have to patrol, so police are more likely to come across those people. Now, are there racist police who will definitely aim for those people? You're goddamn right they are, and they're fucking arseholes. And more importantly, like, is it Black and minority people's fault for being there? Are they ones who are being more criminal than anyone else? No, because if you take them out of that scenario of being in a deprived area where your only way out is gang violence, and put them into, say, the middle of fucking Warwickshire, like I am, in the beautiful rural area, they're probably going to have wonderful lives and great opportunities in comparison to being in the worst parts of London or Birmingham or Manchester.
That's what I mean when I say it's more really simple rather than your
colour. Yeah. And the way you solve that is by fixing education, fixing opportunities for people from those areas, and also fixing the fucking minimum wage so that people can actually afford to live off of a fucking job. Because that's one of the big problems. Like, people have got so many side hustles of criminality, and even if it's not all the way criminal, even if it's just like selling a bit of weed on the side, it's like, you don't want that to happen. Pay people money so they can live, because at the moment you're not.
Well,
but that's my rant over.
No. Like, this is the thing. The government always said forever, for like literally, I don't know, I can only go by my phone. Like, I say, I don't know, the past 10 years I've been on and off, like job seeking as universal credit. Like, they always say, this is the amount of money you need to live. You have this amount of money, you can live, you're cool. But then the pandemic started, and all of a sudden, all these people that were coming off being in jobs and going on to universal credit, suddenly they were like, wow, we want to give you all an extra £100 a month because we want to make sure you don't fall into poverty.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Okay. So before, That was okay then, but now it's not. What about
yeah, it's okay
afterwards?
for you to suffer and die in the middle of the good times, but when life's gone
Yeah.
shit, that's when we're gonna give you more money.
It's fucking
God
ridiculous.
damn it, man! And yeah, it's so fucking short-sighted as well, because there was always like, oh, a good economy. You know what? You don't get a good economy doing by letting billionaires hoard huge amounts of money in banks that will never see the light of day. You know what is good for the economy? Lots of like spending middle class people, working class people, people who spend the most of the money they earn, because an economy is not how much money you've got, which is what people don't fucking remember. It's the transfer of money within that environment. Yeah. Every single transaction benefits the economy. You know what doesn't? Just sitting there with a shitload of cash going fucking nowhere. That does no good for fucking anyone apart from bankers.
Like if, I don't know, you had a country that really liked a particular product, but then every single person that had anything to do with that product had to go through this one particular governing body, to the point where it was essentially a government cartel where people would want to steal 18.7 million from, for example.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of thing. The kind of thing where maple syrup becomes something worth nicking.
It's worth more than fucking heroin, apparently, in Canada.
Yeah. So you were saying, sorry.
Yeah.
I've gone off topic.
No, it's fine. John. Okay. So they found the 3 gallstones and a piece of someone's dentures. This was enough to tie him to the missing persons case, and he was arrested and probably put on trial because it moves a lot quicker there. But John believed at this point he couldn't be charged for murder as there was no bodies discovered, which is still believed nowadays a lot, in all honesty, and it's kind of true.
It's there was actually a law that was around it. So what was it? Habeas corpus or something like that, which is literally, if you can't find the body, then the crime didn't happen, basically.
Yeah, but then at the same time they talk about, like, if you can prove that it's pretty fucking likely and you can prove part of it, then yeah.
And then they found the gallstones, which you can't really get out of someone without surgery or melting them.
This is the problem I had with it, though. As much as it seems very obvious because of what happens a bit after this, that it was him, obviously. Like, you couldn't prove who the gallstones came from. You couldn't prove they weren't there for 100 years. Back then,
I think you can. Oh no, that's right. You don't have DNA testing, so it's just literally, it's just a piece of dead body, basically.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no real evidence there. But the police informed him they were able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the missing people in question had indeed been murdered, and in that case, there was enough evidence connecting him to them and all that kind of stuff, that we talked about earlier. That was enough for him to think, okay, I'm going to change my plea from guilty to innocent on account of insanity. That was how we know it happened.
So he was like, yeah, okay, I killed them all for the money, but trust me, it's just because I'm a loopy madman. Because that doesn't seem like loopy madman behavior. That seems like incredibly aware and concerted effort from a psychopath.
And I think he realised this too, because he went on after this to say, like, he gave all the information, that we talked, all the information that I talked about earlier was going in regards to the first-hand accounts he gave, because it's the only evidence we have. So after this then, in regards to after saying he was insane, basically, it was almost as if he was trying to make that point, because he stated afterwards, after giving the details, he had also drank the blood of his victims and went into details about the religious nightmares he had as a child. And he stated, and I quote Nathan, I saw before me a forest of, this is about the dreams when he was younger, I saw before me a forest of crucifixes which gradually turned into trees. At first they appeared to be dew or rain dripping from the branches, but as I approached, I realised it was blood.
Oh, of course it was. Of course it was. Like the most kitsch, boring fucking horror writing you could ever do. Oh, I was there, and there was a liquid, and 'twas blood. Yeah.
Wow. It goes on to say, though, the whole forest began to writhe, and the trees, dark and erect, began to ooze blood. A man went from each tree catching the blood. When the cup was full, which he didn't mention until this moment, when the cup was full, he approached me and told me to drink. But I, John Haig, he did that part, was unable to move. Almost as if something was telling him in his dreams he needed to do these things so he could drink the blood. That was his defense, it seems.
Right, okay. Like, just, again, that shit right there is just, to me, it's a bad writing exercise from a relatively good high schooler. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were going to write a horror story in high school, it'd be like, yeah, I was in this forest and it was spooky, and then there was blood falling from everywhere, and then the trees became blood.
Yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying there, actually.
Yeah. Whilst actual fucking psycho people who are genuinely mad as fuck, I'm pretty sure their nightmares and their weird dreams are the kind of shit that would give you fucking nightmares just hearing about it.
Ironically.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, and it would all be twisted stuff, really twisted stuff, and it would all have symbolism and like weird shit going on in it. And that,
no, go ahead.
You know, that is just it. Just sounds like poor writing.
Yeah.
Hang on,
I'm
gonna sneeze.
I consider myself a very creative person. Like, I am able to, as soon as I hear something, I can come up with something straight away. I'm very creative, but that goes against me a lot of the time, because when I'm dreaming, my nightmares are fucked up.
Yeah,
Nathan.
Yeah, you know what? I've been having weird. Yeah, I keep having weird nightmares at the moment that are all sort of based around the same sort of thing. Like, there's a little park down where I walk, and like it's a raised up area, and then you go down into the park, and every fucking night I keep walking past this fucking thing in my dream, and it's way further down than it was, and there's always like a shady deal going on, or there's something down there creeping me out that I can't go and go near. It's like, what the fuck is up with this place? Why does it keep going into my head?
I genuinely, like, no lie, I've created like a whole map. Like, if you think of a game, I've created like a map in my head over the last couple of years. It's always the same area, but then there's like new bits, but it's always you have to go through the same areas to get to them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been doing with my dream as well. Yeah, because I always end up having to go that same route past that same fucking place, as I say.
Do you ever kind of it sounds like bull, but I do the lucid dreaming. I know I'm dreaming when I'm dreaming.
Oh, you can. You can definitely do it. They've scientifically proven there is a very simple way to make yourself do it, even if you don't think you can.
Well, all I know is there's certain things that it's like, okay, I can do this. I'm in a dream. It's like there's certain things like I can always do. Do you remember? Did you ever play the Batman Arkham Asylum games and all? No.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Remember in that you would try to grab a look and you'd have to go. I can't remember the button. You go, and then on the second one you'd whip
yeah.
That I can do that in all my dreams.
Yeah.
And then there's also I'm not going to say the other one because it's weird.
See, I've got the weirdest dream.
I'm a super hypersexual person, and I always seem to be able to suck my dick in my own dream.
Excellent.
If you can suddenly do that, it's like, because any guy, if you could, if you own one,
you
why
would.
wouldn't you?
Yeah,
if you own one,
you absolutely would.
Doesn't mean you have to piss in it or the equivalent of that, but still.
Yeah, and you don't have to finish there either. You can just.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what was I going to say? Yeah, the weirdest dream I ever had that was sort of I was basically in a field. Again, a lot of fields in my fucking dreams.
I
And
think
I'm
because
in
we're
this
stoners
field.
and we just kind of got used to those because you chilled in a lot of fields as well, didn't you? Getting high.
I go for a lot of walks and
Yeah.
burn one down and
Actually, I've seen
write
them.
some
Yeah, yeah.
stuff and yeah. But like in this particular dream, there was like lots of cows, but there was one particular cow that looked like I shit you not, fucking weird, right? And I was a bit scared of cows when I was a kid, but I'm totally over that now. But this is again what I'm talking about. This shit is weird symbolism,
Yeah,
not fucking
that's
just
how you-
random blood in a
Yeah.
forest. Grow up, you know what I mean? But this thing,
But
this
he
cow
didn't
was
have
like-
internet to get to the level that we had. All he had was Catholic
Yeah.
Church, in all fairness.
true,
So
but
I get
even that.
Yeah. Maybe.
But yeah,
You saw the guy. He did not look like the kind of guy that had any creative thought ever in his life.
nah.
Okay.
Yeah, but this particular cow just sort of looked like it was burnt, like already burnt with like scarred face and shit like that. No actual skin on it, just like burnt, nasty flesh. And like every time I'd look at it, it would get a little bit closer, and like I'd start walking away, and it would start running towards me, and I'd stop and turn around, and I didn't like it. It was not nice. That was a horrible fucking dream.
I don't know what like actually like ongoing particular things I have going on in my dream. Just more the areas. The only thing like I used to always get because I realized this as it changed like over like I don't know how long, but you know, like in games, you'd have a load of guns in your inventory, but then when it came to
you just swap them out.
all of a sudden you got a big giant gun.
Yeah.
In my dreams, I'd be like, I've got this gun, pull it out. It's tiny. Can't do anything. It's tiny. I would see my hand going into it. Made no sense because I would be like watching my hand go into my pocket, then see from my hand's point of view, rustling around the tiny fucking guns, and that'd be it. I've now got to the point that when I pull a gun out, it's normal size, and then
that's good.
For quite a while, it was good, but for quite a while, I would shoot and nothing would happen. Nothing would ever happen. Now I shoot, I can see through the crosshair, and I see a white little dot go over like you do in games. So it's not quite a bullet, but something.
See, the thing is, you got to level yourself up, though. Yeah. You're on assault rifles now. By the end of it, I want you to have like Devastator from Duke Nukem.
I just want to be able to shoot something and defend myself.
Oh, yeah, that would be sweet.
I get like zombies and stuff.
Jesus.
They're all really nice.
Oh, yeah, I get a shitload of zombies, especially recently. COVID, probably, but you know what I mean.
I was about to say that, almost like the world.
Way more zombies than I ever normally used to dream about, and it's always like they're always just around. Even in dreams when I'm not dreaming about zombies, for some reason, zombies are just a part of the world anyway.
I love the concept. Like, you probably appreciate this as well, actually. Did you notice, like, I don't know, for so long, because blood's supposed to be a dream suppressor, like, it's supposed to stop you from dreaming.
Yeah. And then you stop and you're like, whoa, these get fucking weird.
But it's just all of a sudden, I just started dreaming again. I didn't stop, didn't change anything. Then all of a sudden, I just started dreaming and getting lucid dreams, and it just carried on.
That's quite good. I've started getting more dreams again. Again, was that near COVID starting? Because I started getting way more dreams near COVID.
I do think so. I like to assume that's not the case with most things, but I think so. It makes sense.
Because like there was apparently a study that showed that people's dreaming had increased, like a lot more of like weird dreams, especially, which I suppose would make sense if you're sort of burning it out of your head so you don't remember it all the time. But then something's really weird, you're going to remember it more. If that makes sense, don't it?
No, it makes total sense.
It's just because it's more weird, it sticks in your head a bit better.
Thinking about connected to that, I'm like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing to get your head around because it's like kind of like arguing against the physical side of things in regards to the chemicals that you're putting into yourself, which ties in quite nicely to what we've been talking about, and the frame of mind and how they differ and how they can connect to each other. And I suppose this last year is going to be the best kind of like frame of reference you can have in regards to looking at an overall frame of mind, because everyone's gone through something in this
Yeah.
time. And if they haven't, they're a sociopath.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
So,
after that,
you were saying?
that was the end of it. John Haig,
Yeah.
because what was the last thing? Yeah, so the cup, the jury, after that whole story, the jury, much like me and you, thought that it was complete bullshit.
Yes,
and
of
he was
course.
only saying it in an attempt to not get the death penalty, and within literal minutes, he was found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging. He was executed on the 10th of August, 1949, because back then shit got done, Nathan.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you don't normally expect the execution at the end of a story to make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, but this motherfucker deserved it. Jesus Christ!
Fair, though, is it that good considering his main way of killing people was making them feel literally warm and fuzzy in a barrel with acid? That's my one per podcast.
I like that. That was good. Oh shit!
About that until now.
That was a good one.
It's a weird
Yeah,
story.
properly weird.
You feel like it's going to end halfway through, and then he just killed another couple.
Just keeps killing. It's like, oh yeah, no, he's killed the guy and his parents. It's clear that he's going to get detected or found out. Oh no, he's killed someone else as well. Okay.
I think it was especially interesting because it was going on during the war, and me personally, like, I love history, but I'd never even contemplated the concept of the stuff that was going on in the country during the war. I never even thought about the police having to still do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, detect murders and stuff. Yeah. There's actually a series about that. It's like one of those, procedural detective dramas, but it's called Foyle's War, and it's literally about a detective called Foyle.
That's the F-O-Y-L-E one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And he's literally going around in 1940s rural areas, like solving crimes, whether it be like stolen stuff or murders and things like that. It's actually pretty good.
So I just realised that I didn't know anything down, so I'm going to have to watch through all this and figure out where the fuck everything is.
Oh no!
You say, "Oh no, you ain't going to do shit. Shut up." I no.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Fair.
I got through all of it, and my arm feels alright now because I'm quite drunk, so I don't care. And I'm getting high.
That's good. There we go. It's a victory at the end of the day. So
but this is the real victory.
I
love that picture so much.
Oh, I'm so annoyed that I saw Dark Knight instead of the Joker.
I mean, it's pretty understandable, to be fair. Have you seen the I haven't watched it yet, but I want to. The Zack Snyder cut of Justice League is out now.
Not yet. I need to see that. I need to see that shit as soon as possible. But I keep thinking it's 4 hours, and that is a lot of dedication.
It's 4 hours.
It's a 4-hour movie. It comes in 7 sections so that you can watch it piece by piece if you want to, or one big 4-hour chunk. Now TV and things like that. Yeah.
Oh. I might watch it because I've seen a few of the side-by-side comparisons on YouTube, and there's a lot extra. I just saw the the Wonder Woman scene in the bank robbery.
Yeah,
and there was so much extra. The normal version was just paused most of the time, and all this extra shit going on.
What I'm really interested in is that people genuinely do seem to say it is better by a long way than the original.
Are they actually saying that? Because I was wondering how we would actually go now.
Yeah, they're saying that it's got a more consistent tone. It sets up more things. It has more interesting things happening to it. The story makes more sense. It's like, well, isn't it surprising that when you switch an artist halfway through a project, it might fuck up the project? Again, nothing to do with anyone's fault. Zack Snyder went through a terrible, terrible issue.
Oh yeah, what was that again?
His child committed suicide,
and
it went to Joss Whedon.
Okay, yeah. Because everyone was like, "Oh well, the Marvel guys got it now, so it's going to be great."
Yeah, and it Yeah.
Just no.
Yeah, I kind of like Joss Whedon for the Marvel stuff because he's got that jovial tone, but like the Zack Snyder stuff was so fucking dark. You can't just switch tone mid flow.
Yeah. Like which Joss Whedon? Which one did he done? Because
He did the original Avengers movie. I think he might have done Age of Ultron as well, but I'm not sure.
I think it was actually. I think you're right. Yeah, when you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thinking about those two films in comparison to Justice League and what we saw of it, at least they're wildly different.
Yeah, wildly different.
Wildly different. So yeah. I'm not surprised that it didn't work out very well. But I think the thing that'll bother me watching the Zack Snyder one though is that all the good stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, setting it up really well. It's not going to go anywhere now. Nowhere.
Although people are now staying, there's the reinstate or whatever it is, remake the Snyder universe is basically the thing, because the whole Snyder cut didn't exist multiple years ago, and it only exists now because enough fans went, do it, make it, and we'll enjoy it, do it, and they've made profit off of it. And these rabid fans now really want to see how this trilogy ends. I want to see how this trilogy ends, and I haven't even seen the new cut of Justice League.
Yeah,
I would happily go into any fucking cinema and watch the end of this trilogy, provided it's all done by Zack Snyder, because I like to see what happens when an artist gets to finish their actual vision for something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because what happened after Justice League? There was Aquaman
there was Aquaman and Wonder Woman,
didn't it?
Oh yeah, yes, it must have done.
Came out before, yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Woman came out before. That was the only ones they had, and they're still working on the Flash.
What, Batman?
No, that was right. They had Superman, they had Man of Steel, then they had Batman versus Superman, then they had Justice League. Oh no, then they had Wonder Woman, then they had Justice League, then they had Aquaman. That was it.
Shazam, that's the other one I'm thinking of.
I still haven't seen Shazam.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I heard it's good. Yeah. Although I am looking forward to see what happens with The Rock playing Black Adam.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting. Because, yeah. And apparently, The Rock is trying to get Zack Snyder's trilogy made. He is a big proponent of it.
If he's into it, then I could see that actually going somewhere in that case.
Yeah.
He's got to be one of the biggest stars they've got in there right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the other people who's the new Batman? The dude from Twilight, when he
oh, fuck that guy. Yeah, no, I'm not watching Robert Pattinson play the fucking Batman. I'm sorry. I was willing to give it a shot, and then I saw the trailer. Yeah, the thing is, I saw the trailer, and it's like it's supposed to be making me feel like it's hardcore and badass.
Wait, when did that come out?
You didn't see the trailer?
I've been so out of touch with all this stuff since we've been at home, and I've been talking to people out and about. When did that come out?
See that was about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. It's been out for a while.
Who's the bad guy in it?
Oh, it's the Riddler.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, but you don't get to see the Riddler. It's just like literally almost like bags over his face, and then he's got the question mark on it. It's weird.
No, I've definitely not seen any of that at all.
Yeah, it's worth a look. Worth a look.
That tab now ready, so I remember. Afterwards.
Actually, that might be the ultimate finisher. We'll watch that, and then we'll have our.
Should we put that on quickly now?
Yeah, do it, mate. Cool. Genuinely. But you'll see what I mean.
What is it? So it was the Batman, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Batman.
Oh, okay, yeah, came straight away. The Batman trailer. Oh shit! Okay. 7 months. Wait, what? 7 months.
Told you. Yeah.
What? They all the same video. They all the same ones. They're about the same length.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Jesus Christ! I am so out of touch with things right now. Okay, let me find. That's the one. Share audio. Share.
Here we go.
I'm going to go for the one from Warner Bros. Because
Yeah, definitely, because
I trust that
that's the most official one. It's also got music that sounds a bit like Darth Vader.
Is that full screen for you on the thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, come back to you. Actually.
Lots of tape. Always good to have tape.
I'm
There he is.
fucking surprised. Okay. The Riddler's my favourite bad guy from any of them.
Same here. I think he's been. Here's my first problem.
See that again. That was very surprising. Yeah, hold on. Let me go up.
Doesn't
I'm gonna
look.
go back.
You're becoming quite.
I know he's supposed to be fairly new, but the suit doesn't look like it's actually going to be that effective.
It was just surprising more so than anything that you'd even see the Batman in the trailer or the full picture.
Yeah, you see, like, it looks a little bit like the kind of thing that someone wears as a Halloween costume of the Christian Bale one. You know what I mean? It's like got the Christian Bale thing printed onto just a t-shirt. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, you know what? I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, but I just think
don't like it.
Okay, but we'll keep going. We'll keep going.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't like it.
That fat dude with the jowl, that is Colin Farrell.
Him right there.
That is Colin Farrell. Yes.
What? No, what?
That is Colin Farrell. How fucking great. That's the reason why I'm going to watch this film, for Colin Farrell alone. Because he is a fucking fantastic character actor and people don't give him enough fucking credit.
Colin Farrell is really good, but
yeah,
that doesn't look... He must have actually put on some weight for that then. That's not all prosthetics. That can't be. The whole face, his head looks completely different.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
See, it's...
The hell are you supposed to be?
I mean, that was kind of cool.
Vengeance.
It's quite cool.
That was kind of cool, to be honest with you.
Whoa! This guy's crazy.
So there you go. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be entertaining.
How am I part of this?
But
You'll see.
I'm worried about it.
You know what? That was a lot better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Like
my main problem with it, if I'm honest, is just it's the style of the look they've gone for. Like the Batmobile looks a little bit too much like a car. The bat suit looks a little bit too much just like vaguely protective clothing.
The Batmobile always kind of looked like a car. It was only like the most recent films it didn't, where it looked like more of a tank than anything. It always looked more like a car.
Yeah, but even in the old ones, it was sort of like this incredibly long, like weirdly shaped thing. Like it looked like no other car on the road. That thing looks like someone's modified a Chevy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a very slow. I didn't really see much of that. Let me just quickly. I've just got it on my own thing still. There it is. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But at the same time, it looked kind of realistic as well, though. It looked like an
actual... that's the thing. It's like I don't know what to think.
I could imagine that being like, because Gotham always has a kind of 50s style to it, Gotham in general, but it depends when it's actually like set. Considering Batman looks a bit younger there, then maybe like, I don't know, it feels like 20 years ago.
If it was set in the sort of actually in the 90s or something like that, that would be quite cool as a setup, or even the 70s. Because if they were doing the 70s, they could actually combine that alongside their version of the Joker, because that's sort of roughly the same times. That would be sweet. Joaquin Phoenix versus that dude,
which would be a smart thing to do, considering the Joker was actually the Joker came out first, but I'm guessing like those kind of films say like quite the crossover from when you start doing it to when he comes out. I don't know. There probably could be enough time between them. Yeah. Well, apparently
There we go.
the Joker was supposed to be like a standalone one, but then it became one of the highest grossing R-rated films ever or something. It was fucking great.
And they're talking about doing a sequel, which would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
I would have any and all of that. I don't like Suicide Squad particularly, but I'll have that too if it goes to that eventually as well.
The new Suicide Squad trailer looks all right. It looks pretty good. It looks like it's got a more consistent tone, which helps.
Yeah, I haven't watched Birds of Prey. I probably won't.
I probably won't. I've not heard great things. Yeah.
Because before we finish, then you're a Marvel person as well. Then in the other side, have you started watching any of the Falcon and the Winter
WandaVision
Soldier?
or any? Oh yeah, I still haven't caught up with WandaVision. I need to do WandaVision. I need to do Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I also want to do just a big rewatch of all the Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
because there's so much there. It's so worth it.
Yeah, it's like I suppose we're some kind of age, so you'll appreciate it as well. It's like you're just kind of grown up with it by this point, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Yeah, that was the thing as well. When I was a kid, like I loved the Avengers the most. I loved Thor and Iron Man, and Captain America, and Hulk was my ultimate favorite.
Yeah, I liked Hulk. Out of them, I liked Spider-Man was always my main one, but
yeah. And that was the thing. It's like Marvel always sort of appealed to me more than the DC stuff did, because like for me the way to describe it is like DC superheroes are what superheroes could be. They're like the perfection of superheroes. Yeah. Superman is perfect, Batman is perfect, Green Lantern is perfect. Whilst Marvel felt
not a lot of like explanation in regards to
no scientific explanation. It's just like this is the way they are, that's the way it works. And whilst Marvel is like this is what superheroes would be, because Iron Man is scientifically feasible, and also Tony Stark's biggest flaw is that he's a fucking drunk.
Yeah,
he's an alcoholic. Like Wolverine is this ultimate fighting guy, and he's not ludicrously overpowered, but because of his incredible healing, he can overcome lots of other things. But he's also his main issue. He's this angry, lonely dude. You know what I'm saying?
And a bit of an alcoholic too.
Yeah, exactly. And they feel real as characters, unlike the DC stuff, which is just like all these goody two shoes doing perfect stuff all the time.
Yeah, with the exception of Gotham, Batman, all of that. All
Batman
of that
is the fucking exception. Yeah.
Like when people ask me who's my favorite like bad guy or something, I'll just say, well, we'll ignore the Joker because.
It's just
the Joker is so hard to say anything else,
especially Mark Hamill's Joker. And I know a lot of people love this movie Joker, that movie Joker. I love the Mark Hamill Joker. Hello there, bats.
His voice was great, but if he was doing that voice and then I saw his face, I'd be like, okay,
yeah. But that's the thing. It's like he's the ultimate animated Batman. Like a Joker, there's no way you're going to get a better animated Joker than that, because that is just the Joker's voice in an animated show,
Yeah, I mean, I loved. Actually, there's a different. From what I've seen, little bits. There's a new version of the Joker in the Zack Snyder Justice League.
The
long-head version.
It's Jared Leto's one again.
Yeah,
it's Jared Leto's one again.
Though. He's an amazing actor, and if it was originally supposed to go somewhere else with long hair, then I get it completely. With how he would act and how he's acted in previous films,
as opposed to the fucking tattoo-headed fucking weirdo.
Damaged.
Oh my god, damaged.
You won't know that I have mental illnesses unless I say it on my head.
Imperfectly written tattoo as well.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Jesus. Yeah, just completely not understanding what the character was about, but that's fine.
But in all fairness, I like the kind of the idea that they've come out with lately, like, which I'm pretty sure has been apparently confirmed by like the writers, DC in general, that there was always 3 different Jokers. So I guess that means
That
they can
makes
explain
sense.
it away.
That makes sense, sort
Yeah.
of. But there we go.
All right then. Yes.
Yeah, we're hitting the 3-hour mark, so we're just about in time. What we should do, I think, actually, is genuinely we could cut this up so it's like intro, do the first one, and then do the second part as like a whole other episode, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. There was a
Does that
really
make
weird.
sense?
Yeah, no, it made perfect sense. There was a really weird audio thing from your side for a moment then.
Ah, right, okay. But I genuinely think that's the way to do it, because then we can
What?
just sort of split it into 2 episodes, and then people can be like, oh, watch that one at that point, and I'll watch that one at that point, so they don't have to sort of pause it and catch up where they were from the last bit. I don't know.
What?
do you
Say it
reckon?
again, because I was still kind of caught off guard by that audio thing. So what? So split it into 2 and then have like
Yeah.
the intro with the first story and then goes
Yeah.
into second story with the
Yeah. And it can also give you better opportunity to monetize things on YouTube.
Well, if we do that, that means you, in a sense, we don't need to do one next week then.
Oh no, I still think release both in the week, but it's just like have it so like
Okay.
you can watch that one and then you can watch that one like later
tell you
date.
what,
Or
actually, yeah. Tell me about that in a second, because I wanted to just get your ideas in regards to the marketing anyway. So thank you everyone then for watching. We're going to
Cheers,
get
guys.
now. Tell them your things again, Nath. The
Post-apocalyptic Metal Treehouse. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. It's written, directed, and starring me, and it's pretty funny. So fucking enjoy it.
I would agree with that. I'd go further, but it's your thing, so I'll let you refer to it how you want to.
Yeah.
Well, than that, then Kd Comedian Quiz Off coming next week. Kd's Comedian Quiz Off Mania number 30. We got the 30 weeks somehow. I don't know how. Yeah, and we'll probably keep going after that.
Because it keeps getting better week after week. You are missing out by not watching the quiz off.
In all fairness, yeah. And then when we stop, it'll be because we'll do something on stage with it. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be fucking fun.
Even that can be recorded and put online.
Of course, it will be. It will be.
Yeah,
don't worry about that.
Excellent.
Cool. Peace out, everyone. Then.
Cheers, guys. See you
Take
later.
care.